Hey there, Dustin. It's your wonderfully talented, smart, and beautiful big sister here. What do you think you're up to? I hear you got your own place and moved out of Mom and Dad's house a few weeks ago. How come you haven't had a housewarming party? I need to inspect your new place and see if it reaches my standards. I can't have my brother living in some squalid little dungeon basement apartment with no running water and a hole in the floor where the toilet should be, can I?
What makes you think I would live somewhere as unhygienic as that all sounds, Brittany? And while we're asking the real questions, why do you think I would invite you to my housewarming party? I didn't have a housewarming party, but if I did, do you think I'd ask you? The last party I threw, you crashed with a bunch of your popular friends and ruined it.
Oh, come on. You can't call that a party. You guys were playing board games in the basement. We absolutely had to try and liven that up a little bit, didn't we? And that's the whole reason I have to check what your new apartment is like. You seem to really love basements, so I wouldn't be surprised if you chose to live in one. But seriously, you graduated college more than 2 years ago, and you've had a full-time job for most of that time. How come it took you so long to move out? I thought you were going to stay at home sponging off Mom and Dad forever or something. I bet now that you're finally gone, our parents are so happy they don't have to see you and smell you every day.
Actually, I wanted to move out a year ago and Mom and Dad asked me not to because they wanted someone around the house while Dad was going through that thing with his knee.
Whatever. It's been over for ages. You're just using that as an excuse for being lazy, aren't you? Or is it because you weren't earning enough money to move out until now? I can't believe with your prestigious college background and your fancy degree, you're still working for some grimy little NPO with no money. Did you even get a bonus this year? I know your company is small and some kind of charity thing, right? You must still get a bonus, though. It would be weird if you worked all year and never got any bonus at the end of it. How much was it, though? Come on, Dustin, I'm interested. Did you get $2,500? Wasn't it even that much? Is that why you're not responding? Because your bonus is so tiny that you're embarrassed to tell me exactly how much it was?
Brittany, you haven't messaged me in months. You didn't even remember my birthday, which was last month, by the way. Now you're messaging me to try and find out if I got more bonus money than you, aren't you? You still haven't given up trying to find out how much I earn. I told you when you were trying to guess my salary that I'm not going to share that information with you. I haven't even told Mom and Dad because I know if I do, you'll wheedle the information out of one of them eventually. Why do you need to know how much I earn or what my bonus is? It makes no difference to you at all. You just want to prove that you're better than me, don't you? Well, I don't know why you're bothering. You know I work for an MPO, so what makes you think I'd get a bonus anyway? Even if I did, it wouldn't be as much as $2,500.
Yeah, I'm sure it wouldn't be. I don't know why you work for such a useless organization. It only exists because richer people than you give you donations and help you stay afloat. Without those people, you'd be bankrupt in seconds.
I guess that's partly true, but the company does just fine. We make money from merchandise sales as well as donations. Sure, charities can't afford to pay their executives huge bonuses, but they're run by people who don't really care about that kind of thing. That's why they work. Besides, at your age, you should realize it's rude and unkind to make fun of people for earning less than you, especially when it's a family member. It's crazy that I, as your younger brother, should have to remind you to be a nicer person all the time, don't you think?
Oh my word, Dustin. You're such a loser. Can you please drop the holier-than-thou act? Everyone knows you need money to live, just like the rest of us. You're only saying you don't care about how much you earn because you know I earn more than you, and you hate to lose to a girl. Tell me you're not jealous that I got a $5,000 bonus this year. I probably could have even made more if I tried. I was one of the best brand managers in my department this year, but I didn't try very hard.
Okay, I'm not jealous of you. I wouldn't want to do your job, even if I got a huge bonus every year, because it is such a soul-destroying, cynical thing to do. You know your company operates massive sweatshops in poor Southeast Asian countries, don't you? You're always coming way down on the list of ethical clothing brands because the overseas employees work in dangerous conditions for very little pay. And you're messaging me about bragging about your bonus and how you're making the most money out of all of us? It is disgusting, Brittany, okay? I don't want to hear about it. Did you have another reason for contacting me? Because I can't believe that the only reason you would text me was to make me this mad again.
Not really. It's just so funny when you get all worked up about poor working conditions and stuff. But I just honestly wondered how much you made from your bonus. Why is it so wrong for me to be curious about my little brother's job? Are you really not going to tell me what you make?
No, I know we're siblings, but we obviously really don't see eye to eye about money stuff and moral standings. So why don't we just agree not to talk about it? Otherwise, I just don't see how we're gonna get along in the future. Anyway, I think soon even your company is gonna have to think about equaling out how much it pays its overseas and US workers. Maybe you should try to keep up with the times and help encourage your company to make some changes.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Dustin. Nobody really cares about how much people in the factories make as long as we're earning enough here at home. But you're right, we probably shouldn't talk about this stuff if we want to get along. You're so boring and annoying when you start talking like this. Let's just agree to disagree and leave it at that. One day you'll realize that you can't eat moral standards, and then you'll wish you'd paid more attention to how much you were earning.
Okay, well let's see how that works out. I'm glad you've agreed to not talk about work anyway. If you're done talking now, I'm gonna hop into the shower. I've had a long day and I've just got back from a run. Bye, Brittany. I'll talk to you later.
Hold up. There is actually something I wanted to tell you. Don't get in the shower just yet.
Are you serious? Why don't you just tell me what, instead of wasting my time annoying me about money and stuff? I hope you're not gonna say you've got a new job selling cigarettes and alcohol to preschoolers or something. Hurry up, Brittany. I have stuff to get on with.
Okay, fine. I'm here to tell you that I'm officially getting married to Chris. Congratulate me, little bro. We chose a date for the wedding already, and I picked out my dress and everything. You absolutely have to come. I'm going to make a bride speech. I know it's not traditional, but you know how I love to be a trendsetter, right? What do you say? Will you be there? I promise it'll be entertaining.
You guys finally set a date? Well, that's great news. I'm happy for you, Britt. Congratulations. I definitely will be there. It would be really weird if I wasn't.
You've met Chris, I know, but let me just remind you a little bit about him. I'm so excited, so I have to tell everyone how great he is. He's a couple years older than me. He'll be 30 soon, but as you know, I'm only 28, which is a great age for a woman to be getting married these days. It's not too late for me to start a family, but I've already got myself to a great position career-wise, so even if I get pregnant, I'll totally be able to keep my awesome job. But yeah, you know Chris is totally hot, and he goes to the gym 3 times a week. He was on the swim team at college, but now he plays golf at weekends. He graduated from a really good college, and he works in the same company as I do, but in a different department. He earns about the same as I do, which, you know, is a lot.
Yeah, I know Chris. We've met a few times. I don't think I needed the whole rundown on his charms, but I guess that makes you happy.
Well, I'm just reminding you all about your new brother-in-law's good points so you can tell all your coworkers how lucky your sister is.
Yeah, okay, but I don't think I'll be rushing to tell all my buddies about how my new brother-in-law is totally hot, as you put it.
Fine, whatever. You're just being jealous again because you don't have a girlfriend. But I'm not surprised because you spend all of your time either at work or playing board games. Maybe you and Chris could hang out and he could give you some pointers on how to impress the ladies. But actually, maybe not. We don't have enough space at the wedding for you to bring a girlfriend. Best for us if you just stay single for now. I'm so sorry to go on like this, but it's just difficult not to talk about Chris once I get started. He is the most amazing person I have ever met.
If Chris is so amazing, why don't you put your phone down and talk to him? You've spent all this time messaging me when I don't even want to talk to you. Imagine that you could have been spending that time talking to and admiring your handsome fiancé instead of wasting my time. Doesn't Chris get mad if you just sit on your phone and ignore him?
No, he's not even here right now. He's at the gym, so it's no problem. Did I mention that he's 6 foot tall? And he's got amazing abs. For our honeymoon, we're going to Bali to learn how to surf and scuba dive. When we get back, we'll be so tanned you won't even recognize us. We've already got the vacation booked in and everything. Mom and Dad are paying for pretty much everything because they've been saving for my wedding. But Dad said they don't want to go over budget, so anything that we want to have that's extra, we'll have to pay for ourselves. But it's fine, since we both make so much money, unlike you, my dear brother. I'm worried you won't even be able to afford to get married, even if you do meet someone. You'll have to try and meet a rich girl. But a rich girl probably won't want to marry someone like you with your terrible pay and weird hobbies.
How about you don't worry about who wants to marry me? We can agree to not talk about that either, if you don't mind. You really don't have the right to decide what I should do with my life anyway. I might not want to get married. I'm perfectly happy with how my life is going right now. I work long hours, but I still have a good social life. I just went to a concert last night, actually. And I love my job, because I know that what I'm doing is helping to make the world a better place for the future. Hopefully, if you do have kids, they'll appreciate that people like me try to make sure that they still have a planet to live on in 50 years' time.
Okay, Dustin, you're getting annoying again. I know you think like that because how would you keep on living if you didn't have that motivation? You're just sad that you probably won't have children of your own and you're making excuses for yourself. I've heard it all before.
I might not have children because I might choose not to have them. But I might change my mind, I don't know. But it's none of your business anyway. You can just get married to whoever you want and not make judgments about how I live my life, okay?
I am not making judgments, Dustin. I'm just telling the truth. You're so sensitive. Can't you tell the difference between someone who's being judgmental and this? Which is just a little bit of sibling banter. You're totally overreacting right now. Oh, and Mom said that you're still driving that battered old Jeep you got when you graduated college? It's a second-hand car, and you've had it for years now. Aren't you going to get rid of it and get a new car soon? It's pretty bad if you can't afford to drive a new car, isn't it?
Do you still think that you're not being judgmental when you say stuff like that? What does it matter to you what car I'm driving? You're not going to be riding in it anyway, are you? There's nothing wrong with my Jeep. It wasn't that old when I got it, and the mileage is super low. It's got years of life left in it. I'm not going to buy a new car just for the sake of it. I wouldn't even drive a car if I could get by without one. At least having a second-hand one is a little bit better for the environment.
It's better for the environment? Oh, when are you ever going to stop whining like a little kid about the freaking environment? I'm sorry. I just can't help looking out for you. You're my little brother, and I want you to be respectable. People are always going to judge you if you drive around in an old heap of junk like that. You should see Chris's car. It's a sports car.
Yeah, I have seen Chris's car. I don't think he could find one that wastes more gas. But you do whatever works for you guys.
It's about keeping up appearances, Dustin. No one is ever going to take you seriously once they've seen you driving that thing. If you want people to respect and trust you, you have to show them that you're capable. That's an important part of making an impression, and you should listen to me if you ever want to get a better job or a girlfriend.
Okay, well, I'll bear that in mind if I want to get a brainless, soul-sucking job like yours. Look, I want to go and get into the shower now. Talking to you has totally ruined the good mood I was in after my run. I'm done responding to you. Congratulations on your wedding plans. I'll see you the day of, probably.
Fine. See ya, loser.
Seriously, Brittany, I don't even know what to say to you right now. What happened today? What is wrong with you? You're supposed to be my big sister, but your behavior to me today was totally out of line. I think you need to do some serious thinking about your priorities.
I don't understand why you're so mad, Dustin. Yeah, I'm your sister, and I can say what I like about you, can I? Besides, nobody even asked for your opinion about my behavior today, so you can forget about it. I am not interested.
But this is serious. Can you just be quiet and listen to someone else for once? You can't just belittle me and make me feel like a piece of dirt all day like that, especially in front of people who are going to become your family. I'm glad you invited me to the lunch with Chris's parents. It was important that everyone got to meet before the wedding. But you should feel ashamed of how you treated me in front of them.
I don't get it. Why should I be ashamed of my behavior? I can see why I would be ashamed of you, because compared to everyone else, you're pretty much worthless, but I don't see what I have to be embarrassed for. I'm earning an excellent salary at a huge multinational clothing brand. If I introduced you a bit differently, it was just because you are in a different situation to everyone else. All I was trying to do was make sure Chris's family know who you are and what you do. Then they can form their own opinions about you. I was just trying to be helpful so we don't get into any misunderstandings down the line. Like, what if after we're married, Chris's family want to invite our family on a joint vacation? You won't be able to come because you can't afford that stuff, right? If everyone knows that in advance, you'd be able to avoid the embarrassment of having to turn down the invitation.
That was your way of being helpful, was it? I don't think it achieved the exact effect that you wanted. Did you even plan what you were going to say before you said it? Did you see the look on Chris's parents' faces when you did what you'd done? They were so shocked that you could say those things about your own brother.
I'm sure they weren't that shocked about me. They were probably just upset to discover you have such a crappy job at useless charity that achieves nothing.
My job is not crappy, and the charity is certainly not useless. You would know that if you bothered to find out about what we've done this year. Instead, you just make assumptions based on your own prejudices. Can't you just read a room at all? Nobody was laughing at your jokes. Not even Chris. He just looked uncomfortable.
I don't think so. Whenever I looked at Chris, he was smiling and laughing with me. I think you need your eyes checking, Dustin. People weren't looking uncomfortable because of me. If they were, it would have been because of you. Chris's parents were probably just wondering if they were supposed to treat my failure little brother as part of their own family. Maybe they were afraid you'd start asking them for donations in the middle of lunch or something.
Why would I think a family dinner is the right place to start asking people for donations? It was the first time I'd ever met these people. Look, not everyone is like you, Brittany. Some people have a conscience and don't like to see people being verbally abused during lunch. I just don't understand what I did to deserve any of this. How is my existence bothering you so much? If you don't like what I do, just don't mention it to people. But I'm a humanitarian, and that's something to be proud of, so I'm gonna talk about it. I'm not trying to ask you for money or make you change your lifestyle, so why don't you just do likewise and leave me alone?
Because it's just so annoying to see you living your life in such an embarrassing way. Think about it, Dustin. You only have one life to live, right? Why would you spend it scraping by on a tiny salary by yourself and having to budget everything in your sad little life? It's such a mean and boring way to live, isn't it? You'll miss out on so many cool experiences if you carry on like this. I was just hoping that if I put more pressure on you by calling you out sometimes, you might feel motivated to try a little harder in life. Goodness knows Mom and Dad aren't going to push you to succeed more. I gave up on any chance of that years ago. I know my way is the right way. If you knew that, could you stand by and watch your family member making all these mistakes with his life?
You are talking complete garbage, Brittany. You need to stop taking your definition of success and imposing it on other people's lives.
You just don't get it, do you? There is no such thing as a definition of success. Success is defined by how much money you make and how comfortable your life is. Just take a look at how I live compared to you. I can walk into restaurants where the menus don't even have prices on them, and the waiters bring you whatever they want and charge whatever they want. But I guess if you want to be stuck in a poorly paying dead-end job for the rest of your life, then you can be my guest. I'm only trying to help you out of this rut you got yourself into when you joined the student council and started getting all these ideas about changing the world. You're only one person, Dustin. You can't escape the system, so you might as well just do what you can to beat it.
I don't care about being financially successful. I don't think it's as important as helping underprivileged people live better lives. But I realize you and I are different, and I'm not trying to change you. I'm fine with people who don't think the same way as I do. Can't you do the same for me? Just leave me to live my life how I want to. If you want to play the system and earn as much money as you can, fine. You do that, and more power to you.
I would just leave you to it if I didn't think you were secretly jealous of my money and my fiancé. I don't for 1 second believe that you're happy just being poor. You're just using that as an excuse so you don't have to work hard. I think you can change, and I think you'll be happier if you do. All you have to do is listen to me for a minute.
You're asking me to listen to you, but you're not actually listening to me, are you? I am happier this way. I don't want money or fame. I have no intention of leaving my current job for one that pays better because I love what I do.
No way. You just don't want to do the work. Whatever. You clearly don't have the guts to try for something better. So I guess you're just going to be content with being a loser for the rest of your life. You're scared. But that's understandable. Even if you tried your hardest, I doubt you could ever get to where I am right now. You might be smart, but you don't have the common sense and people skills that you need to succeed in the real world.
What do you mean by a loser? I'm happy. Does your definition of a loser include everyone that doesn't make a lot of money, even if they're content that way? There are a lot of people in the world that you would classify as losers with those standards.
There are a lot of losers in the world. Look at all the people living on the streets and in tiny apartments with their whole family sleeping in one room. There's an insane number of people in this world. Do you really think all of them can be winners like me? Do you think all of them even deserve to succeed like I do? Some of us have to be losers, Dustin, and I guess that means you too.
You know, you seem pretty confident that you've got it all figured out, but I'm pretty sure that most people in the world are not aspiring to become like you. It's like I said, you have your own ideas about what defines success, and it's not necessarily the right thing for everyone. I just really wish that you would stop trying to make me into someone I'm not. And once you're done with that, also stop trying to make me feel bad for being who I am.
Well, it's your life, Dustin. I can't force you to change. It doesn't really matter to me how much money you make. It's not going to be my problem. We both know I tried my best to make you understand. You'll just have to remember that even if you're poor and starving in your old age, you can't come crying and begging for me to help you out. And by the way, if you want to come to my wedding, you should start saving up now. It's going to be really fancy and expensive. You'll be completely out of place if you turn up in your cheap suit. I don't want you to embarrass yourself again.
You're kidding me. I thought Dad said you wouldn't be able to go over budget unless you were using your own money.
Well, guess what? We're using our own money as well as what Dad has saved.
Are you still holding the reception at the same place you were planning to?
No, we've changed it to this really amazing country estate in Scotland. They suddenly had a cancellation and we were still on the waiting list. I'm in the middle of rewriting the invites right now. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. We're going to have bagpipes playing and Chris's groomsmen are all wearing kilts. You know, Chris's family are originally from Scotland, right? He still has distant relations there. They have their own tartan pattern and everything. So save up because you'll need to buy an airplane ticket and a new suit. It's going to be legendary. Nobody we know will be able to remember a more amazing wedding day.
Oh, Lord, Brittany, are you serious? So all of your guests will have to travel to Scotland to see you get married? Oh, that is insane. Have Mom and Dad agreed to it? What about Chris's parents?
Yeah, everyone is fine with it. Mom and Dad have already booked their flights. But there isn't going to be a problem with everyone traveling there to celebrate with us because we're not planning to invite any poor people. And you don't have to worry about the food because we're paying for all of that. They have a Michelin-starred chef. It's going to be so good. Just wait for your invitation and get your flight booked in. If you text Mom, she'll tell you what flight they're booked on. Maybe you can travel with them. Chris and I are going a bit earlier to prepare and enjoy ourselves.
You're out of control, Brittany. Is this in addition to your honeymoon in Bali? How can you spend all of that money on your wedding celebrations and still have a clear conscience?
Well, it's easy when you have plenty of money to spend. I don't feel guilty or even worry about it at all. Anyway, I have to go now because Chris wants to talk about choosing our wedding rings, and I haven't even finished the invites. I'm going to choose something with diamonds to match my engagement ring. Don't you think that would be nice?
Sure, I'm sure whatever you pick will be really nice and tasteful and not a ridiculous waste of money at all. But I'm glad to hear this conversation will be over soon.
Well, I can't spend much less than $15,000 on my wedding ring, can I? I'd be embarrassed to go around with just a plain gold band or something. Besides, gold isn't really my color. My engagement ring is platinum with clear diamonds and blue diamonds. I'll need something that matches. I know what you're thinking. You think I shouldn't spend so much money on material things when there are people starving in refugee camps all over the world? Well, I'm sorry, but I value my happiness too, and I don't know those people, so why should I care if they starve or not?
It is up to you what you spend your money on. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life, remember?
Good, because I don't need your high and mighty judgment on my one and only wedding day. And you should be happy. This will be a once-in-a-lifetime experience for you too. You'll probably never see such a beautiful wedding ring or dress again after this, and you'll probably never go abroad again.
It's not likely that I'll ever buy such an expensive wedding ring, you're right. But that doesn't bother me. I don't know why it bothers you. Anyway, Brittany, the reason I messaged you was to ask you to not talk about me and my job in front of other people like you did today. It was disrespectful, and it made us all look bad.
Oh my god, okay, loser. I'll try not to mention it at the wedding. Bye. Morning, Dustin. It's morning there, right? We're in Scotland, and it's the middle of the day. It's so weird here. Everything is old and kind of cold, even though it's summer. The venue's actually breathtakingly stunning, though. You wouldn't believe it. We visited yesterday, but Chris is still feeling kind of jet lagged, so we're just hanging out in the hotel today. Are you all packed?
Hey, Britt, I've just finished packing. I'll sort the last few things later today, and then I'm heading to the airport with Mom and Dad tomorrow morning. Is it really cold there? Do you think I should put an extra sweater in?
Maybe, but you're not wearing a sweater to my wedding. I don't want you turning up looking like an old man and embarrassing me even more.
Brittany, that is not very nice. Aren't we done with all of that nastiness?
I guess not. But I'm just telling you the truth. I always want what's best for you, and it really would be best for you if you dress better.
You know what? Once this wedding business is over and you're married to Chris, feel free to just never talk to me again. You don't have to invite me to any of your family parties if you don't want to. I'll be quite happy to miss out on all of that stuff. I'm sure you and Chris will manage all right without me, and you should probably just focus on each other's happiness, right?
Okay, no problem. I don't really want to talk to you that badly anyway. I've got plenty of friends and acquaintances to talk to without worrying about you. And when we're married, Chris and I will probably only have time for each other.
That's great. We're agreed then. But don't you have more important stuff to take care of before your wedding? I thought you went over there early so that you could take care of the last-minute arrangements like flowers and stuff. Do you really have time to just lay around in your hotel room like this, just texting me?
It's fine. We've done everything we needed to do today. Didn't I tell you it's already the afternoon here? You're so dumb, Dustin. Also, I'm very good at planning and managing my time. It's one of the skills I've learned at work, so I have plenty of time to relax and focus on having a great time for my wedding celebrations.
Well, that's good. Perhaps instead of texting me, you could just go out and enjoy the Scottish culture or scenery.
But there's actually something super important I need to discuss with you. Chris and I were talking yesterday. We decided it would be best to ask you not to come to the wedding after all. As a huge favor to us, obviously. Actually, you could call it your wedding gift to us. I hope you understand how we feel. It would be really embarrassing for us if you were there, and we just want to have the best possible time.
Excuse me, what are you talking about?
Well, I'm not sure if I can make it any clearer for you, Dustin. We don't want you to come. You don't make that much money, and you don't fit in at all with our other guests. Everyone is from very well-off, classy families. If you came, you'd clash so hard with all of our friends. Everyone would feel so awkward with you around, and you don't want me to talk about you and your job to other people, right? So if I can't explain you to people, what are they going to think? I know my friends would never let me live it down if I had you just sitting in the corner looking drab and ugly at my wedding. It'd kill the vibe completely.
I don't get why you think I'd kill the vibe at your wedding. You told me I had to look the part, so I bought a new suit. How are you going to explain this to Mom and Dad? They are going to go crazy at you.
But they're not going to be mad because you're going to do me a huge favor and say you got the flu and you can't fly, okay? Then Mom and Dad won't have to worry about me not liking you or whatever.
Are you serious right now? This is insane. I bought a round trip to frickin' Europe for this wedding, and now you're saying that I'm not invited? Are you out of your mind? Not only that, but I'm your only sibling. Don't you think it would be a bit weird if everyone was at your wedding except your own brother?
That's why you have to lie and say you're sick. Then if anyone accuses me of not inviting you, I have an excuse and I don't look like the bad guy.
I really don't know what you're trying to achieve with this. I've already packed my suitcase. The flight is less than 24 hours away, so there is no chance I'm going to be able to get my money back. Why did you make me spend all of this money just to waste it? It is such a pain in the butt.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I never thought you'd even book the ticket. I thought you wouldn't be able to afford it, so you'd refuse to come. It's one of the reasons I suddenly decided to have the wedding in Scotland, actually. I thought it was too expensive for you. But it's no big deal. I'm sure you can get your money back if you kick up a fuss about it. Didn't you get travel insurance? If you're sick, you might be able to claim the flight back on insurance. It's not like anyone is going to be sad that you're not at the wedding anyway.
But I'm not sick, am I? I can't claim that on my travel insurance because that's fraud. I wouldn't be able to get a diagnosis to prove that I can't travel. You are unbelievable, Brittany. You're too selfish to even think about how this crazy decision is going to affect me. Plus, you asked me to come over and take extra BTS photos, didn't you? Don't you need someone to do that anymore?
No, of course not. That was a stupid idea I thought of to try and keep you out of the way. But when I was talking to my bridesmaids about it, Emily pointed out that you'd actually be more in the way if you were doing that. Like, you'd have to be around while we were getting our makeup done and stuff. That's gross. I don't want you in the room while I'm getting ready. One of my girls is going to take the behind-the-scenes photos. I forgot she's doing photography for a hobby for just as long as you have. You're not that special, Dustin.
I thought you said my hobbies were weird, but I guess it's okay if one of your girls does it. It's nice to see you still have double standards.
Whatever, Dustin. You should be grateful that I even offered to let you come to my wedding in the first place. Can't you see how much trouble I've been to just to make sure you didn't come? And now you're making me stoop to the level of personally asking you not to come, which I've done very politely, I think. You have to understand that there's no way I could ever have you at my wedding after the way you act, and the way you've spoken to me recently. After the lunch where you met Chris's parents, you sent some incredibly rude text messages to me. Don't you remember?
How are you suggesting that I was the one being rude to you that time? I was only asking you to stop belittling me in front of your in-laws. You know, weddings are not just about the two people promising to stay together forever. It's supposed to be about two families coming together and celebrating the beginning of a new family connection.
Well, everyone in our family that matters will definitely be there. And they won't even notice that you're not there, so relax.
Okay, sure. I wonder if that's true. I'm just saying, it doesn't seem like a very family-oriented thing to do to uninvite your brother right before the wedding. I wonder what Chris's family would think if they found out. You clearly don't think they'd like it, which is why you've asked me to lie, right? It doesn't make sense. Why invite me in the first place if you didn't want me to come? Are you trying to pretend to be a better person for your in-laws' sake? That kind of thing suggests that you know you're doing something wrong here.
Not really. I just felt obligated to invite you because you're my brother and it's expected. But if I don't want you to come, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, what am I getting out of it anyway? I'm just paying for your dinner and everything so you can embarrass me? I believe that in this world, everyone has to have something to offer. If you don't, you're just a freeloading nuisance. You're just not that interesting. You wouldn't be bringing anything of value to the wedding, so I don't think you should be offended if you're not invited.
You are an awful person, Brittany. The only reason you don't think I have anything interesting to bring to your party is because you've never bothered to really get to know me. Sure, you'll be congratulated by your friends and family at your wedding, but you're also supposed to be looking after your guests, right?
Of course, I know that, and there's no need for me to get to know you. You're my brother. I've known you all my life, and you've never been worth anything. This is going to be the biggest and best wedding of all time, Dustin. People are going to be so well looked after, they'll be talking about it for years. It'll be the yardstick they'll measure all future weddings against. And you won't be there because you're not worth the effort. Besides, I don't think you'll be able to manage the kind of congratulations gifts that everyone else will be bringing, and that would be embarrassing for you. You can't just turn up empty-handed to a wedding, you know. I'm pretty sure everyone else will be making gifts well into the thousands. Maybe if you really want to come and could send $30,000 my way and see where that gets us.
Oh, wow. That's what this was about? You know, I bet it took you a week to come up with that idea, didn't it?
Well, it's not just me. Chris is doing the same thing. He has a cousin that works as a pottery maker or something lame like that. It's so drab. But he said if she has enough money to give us a big gift, she can come. So I thought I'd tell you the same thing.
Oh, so it wasn't even your idea. You're just copying a cruel plan that Chris had. You are the absolute worst, you know? But at least it sounds like you and Chris have the same values. You deserve each other.
Yeah, we do think alike. I'm glad we found each other. He's the perfect guy for me. We both think that if someone doesn't have at least $60,000 in savings at all times, then they're probably not our kind of people and aren't who we want to associate with. But without losers like you and the pottery weirdo, we'll have a great time at our wedding.
Sure you will. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Are you sure you won't regret uninviting your brother like this?
Not at all. As long as you follow my instruction and tell everyone you're super sick with the flu or something, then everything will turn out just perfect. The thing is, there are a lot of high-level executives coming from our company. Chris is in line for a promotion next year, so we wanted to invite those guys and impress them. That's the biggest reason we don't want to run the risk of embarrassment by having unpresentable guests like you around. And I was thinking, if we impress them enough, maybe they'll think about giving me a raise as well.
I'm not sure how it works, but I wish you the best of luck with it. The same for Chris. I hope he gets a promotion and gets a nice big raise.
Thanks, but it's pretty much decided already. Also, while we're at it, and you seem to be in a reasonable mood, can you promise not to talk to Chris if he ever sees you out in public? I know your office is kind of in the same vicinity as ours. I don't want you running into him and acting like you know him. That's fine, right? It's not like you guys have anything to talk about anyway. You don't like the same stuff at all.
Right. Did Chris ask you to say that, or did you decide that on his behalf? You're both such nice people, I can't guess which one of you would bring that up.
I thought of it, and Chris agreed. We were talking about that stuff on the plane on the way over. We're also wondering what we should do about Mom and Dad after we get married. I mean, there's no way we can have our wedding without them, but once that's out of the way, I don't know what to do.
What do you mean, what to do? You don't have to do anything about Mom and Dad. After the wedding, just go back to your house and write them a thank you card.
But what about after that? I don't want them coming over to our house all the time without being invited. What if they start to annoy Chris? I'm trying to figure out a new plan. I thought maybe I could just tell them not to come over unless they're invited, and not to invite us to any events. I just don't want to get caught up in always hanging out with the same old friends and family.
I don't get it. Why do you think they would come over all the time and invite you to a bunch of stuff you don't want to go to? I think you're overthinking it. I don't even know why it would annoy Chris to have his parents-in-law around sometimes. Why don't you just forget about it, and if they invite you to something that you don't want to go to, just make any old excuse and don't go.
I just don't want Mom and Dad to think they're on the same level as us now that I'm getting married to Chris and he's going to be a manager at work. It'll be embarrassing for us to have Mom and Dad over when we have other friends there, and I'm not going to their boring parties anymore.
You're despicable, Brittany. You should enjoy spending time with your parents. They've loved you and looked after you your whole life. Is this how you plan on repaying them for their kindness? You're just gonna cut them out of your life once you're married?
It makes sense that now I'm moving up in the world, I should be thinking about leaving behind all of the people that drag me down, right? I don't want Mom and Dad hanging around in case they start thinking we'll lend them money or do favors for them.
So even if they do need to borrow money or need a favor from you, you're not going to do anything about it? What about if you get into trouble somehow and you need their help? Do you think they'd help you after you cut them out of your life? I really don't understand you. You are the most selfish person I've ever met. Are you even going to tell Mom and Dad that stuff to their face, or will you just gradually let them down so they stop calling you?
What does it matter? It's going to have the same effect eventually. I'm not asking you if you think this is the right thing to do or what you would do or anything. I don't need your amazing moral judgment about it. I was just talking to you about it because I wanted to know if you had any ideas of how to avoid offending them too much, but you obviously don't. Anyway, don't say anything about this to them because I don't want them to hate me before the wedding. So, can you afford to send $10,000 as a wedding gift to us or not? I need to know because the catering company needs final numbers today.
Absolutely not. I thought it was $30,000 anyway.
Well, you obviously can't afford that. Just forget about it. I'll see you some other time.
I hope not. And after all the things that you've said to me in the last few months, there's no way I'd get you a gift or even want to see you again. You uninvited me to your wedding less than a week before it's due to take place. What on earth makes you think I'm gonna give you money? On top of that, you've wasted a bunch of my time and money with all of this. I can't understand how you can even dare to ask for more.
Well, it was worth asking. I just thought since you could somehow afford the flight, perhaps if you could get the refund, you could give that money to me. But I don't think it really matters that you're not invited anymore. If your sister's getting married, you should get a gift regardless of whether you're attending the wedding. But you're too poor for that, I guess. It doesn't have to be as much as $10,000. Probably $5,000 would be fine as well. You could return the new suit you bought, too. I doubt you'll get another opportunity to wear it.
I don't know what to say to you, Brittany. You don't seem to have any idea of what a piece of trash you're being to all of us. I don't know what your friends are like. Maybe they're the same as you, but I think if you keep on acting like this, you're gonna end up with nobody. People don't like it that much when all you do is ask for money and talk about how you're better than they are.
That's ridiculous. My friends are on a completely different level to you. You have no right to say anything to me about having friends. No one has ever liked you much. You've always been part of the loser crowd, Dustin. You know, Chris and I are the kind of power couple that everyone adores and secretly wants to be like. We don't have any problems making friends. My schedule is always packed with parties and stuff because everyone knows that it's not even a party if I'm not there. You're just saying all of this horrible stuff because you're jealous of me and because I pointed out that you should get me a wedding gift. Can't you see why I uninvited you from the wedding? You're such a Debbie Downer about everything. It was definitely for the best. I don't care if Mom and Dad find out.
Okay then, if that's how you feel. Anyway, I guess I have to call the airline and cancel my flight. And I should call Mom and Dad too. Wow, lots to do. It's a shame, but I guess I won't have time to talk to you for a while. Bye, Brittany. Have a great wedding day.
Dustin, what the heck? Why aren't you answering your phone? You need to pick up my calls when I need you. I'm your sister, and this is an emergency.
I'm sorry, I was just busy now and I didn't hear my phone. Why are you calling me? Isn't today your wedding day? You should be having fun with all your guests who matter more to you than your own brother. I don't want you calling me anyway. I'm at my friend's house.
Oh, don't try that garbage with me. You don't have any friends, and even if you did, what's happening to me right now is way more important than any friend of yours. This situation needs to be your top priority, Dustin. You've got to help me fix it somehow. First of all, I want to know why you chose not to tell me that the company I work at is currently trying to get your charity to agree to accept it as an ethical partner. Apparently, the upper management have created a committee to try and improve our image, and they think becoming a donor for that dumb NPO you work for is going to help somehow. I don't even know what they're trying to achieve, but I had no idea about any of it. You never told me. Don't you know what you've done?
Oh, right, yeah. I've had to give them a list of concerns they need to address before we'll consider being associated with their brand. But I don't understand what that has to do with you. Why would I have to tell you any of that? It has nothing to do with your job, and you don't even have the authority to do anything about it. I wouldn't share anything about our charity's communication with brands like that to someone who I can't trust. It doesn't concern you, so you don't need to know.
Of course it concerns me. That's why I'm texting you right now, you absolute idiot!
What? Why? You're gonna have to explain this to me.
Stop pretending you don't know anything about this. You know I invited some of our managers to our wedding. I got an email from one of their assistants this morning saying they're sorry they'll have to cancel because they're aware of a clash of interests between me and a prospective charity partner, or something like that. And when I called the assistant, he said my behavior had caused offense to the management of the charity you work at, and the company couldn't be associated with my wedding celebrations. The guy even sent me a screenshot of one of my messages where I said I don't care about stupid factory workers or whatever. So please, Stop trying to tell me you didn't drop me in this on purpose, because I know you took that screenshot and sent it to my bosses to make me look bad. I can't believe you would just completely ruin my wedding like this. You know I put so much hard work into it. You have to call all of these management people at your stupid charity and tell them it was a mistake, and it doesn't have anything to do with me. You have to fix this mess you've made, Dustin.
I really don't think that I have to take responsibility for your garbage opinions that you aren't smart enough to keep to yourself. Anyway, why are you so upset that these managers from your work aren't coming to your wedding? You barely even know them. What difference does it make if a couple of people you don't know aren't there?
They were supposed to come because that would make me and Chris look super important in the company, and then Chris would definitely get his promotion. We would have a few drinks together and have fun, and they'd be our friends after that, so they'd have to treat us right at work. And I was going to impress them so much with my amazing style and popularity. They'd automatically think of me next time a merchandising management position comes up.
That's how you think you and Chris will get promoted? Because you can throw a fancy party?
Why not? That's how it always works for rich and famous people. It's all about connections. But now that plan is ruined because you've made me look like an idiot.
You are completely deluded. I'm not the one making you look like an idiot. You're capable of doing that by yourself.
But you send screenshots of my messages to your bosses, and now those messages are going around my office too, apparently. That's probably a crime, Dustin. I could have you arrested for sharing my private messages without my consent.
I guess you could try that, but I don't think it'll stand up in court. Those are your actual opinions that you've expressed to me so many times, right? I don't think you'll be able to argue that you didn't want that information to become public, since you've shared posts like that on social media before. But I actually didn't take a screenshot and share it on purpose to get you into trouble. I took it ages ago to show my friend at work. And then this week, I was supposed to be away at your wedding, but you told me not to come, so I went to work instead. Then my friend, who is also my boss, wanted to know why I was there. I guess when I told her that you uninvited me, she got mad and thought she would see if she could cause you some problems. It worked, clearly.
Who is this friend? I'm going to make her pay for this.
Again, you could try that, but I doubt you'd be successful. I'm talking about the CEO of the charity. She's the person your bosses are trying so hard to impress. I expect if you want to stay in their good books, you should avoid annoying me and my friend.
But you've both totally ruined my wedding. It's a disaster without the main guests here. It's just a few friends and family. There's no one here to impress, and I'm not going to gain anything by just hanging around with Mom and Dad, am I?
But it's like I've been trying to explain to you. Weddings aren't for impressing people and spending as much money as you can. They're for celebrating with your family.
That's garbage. What's the point in having a party if you're not going to get anything out of it?
I'm done trying to explain how society works to you, Brittany. Let's just forget about it. My advice to you now is just to try not annoy my boss anymore. She can get really single-minded about teaching people a lesson if she thinks they're treating people unfairly. That's why she set up this charity.
Well, I don't even care about your charity. You already know that. I'm happy just earning my money and not thinking about factories and poor people. Your idiot boss obviously went and told my bosses that, and now I'm in trouble. But I don't see why I should be. I am not paid to think about good working conditions for poor people, am I? I'm paid to tell stupid store managers how to sell clothes properly.
I know, but your industry will have to change because customers want to buy from more conscientious brands these days. Your managers have obviously accepted that, and they're trying to do something about it. So, why don't you get with the times?
Oh my God, shut your cake hole, Dustin. You're such a loser. When are you going to stop preaching at me? Our company is obviously just trying to impress your charity so that we look good. Nobody actually cares, okay? Can we just focus on me for a minute? I'm in trouble here, and you're trying to make out that I'm the one who needs to change. You've caused all of these problems, so now you need to sort it all out. Don't you know what it means when I say none of the managers are coming to the wedding? All of the other guests are wondering why they're not here. Chris's parents were all prepared to go and talk Chris up to them for the whole day. It's so embarrassing. People keep asking me what went wrong. What are you going to do about it?
What do you mean, what am I gonna do? I didn't do anything in the first place. I just told the truth to my boss when she was wondering why I wasn't at your wedding. How is that me making problems for you? You're the one who created the problem in the first place by treating me like garbage.
I specifically told you to tell people you were sick. Nobody would have thought it was weird if you just stuck to the plan we agreed on. You just never consider anyone else when you act like that, do you? You didn't think what was going to happen to my reputation if you spread it about that I uninvited you?
But you did uninvite me, and I never agreed to tell anyone I was sick. You said I should, but I never agreed to it. Look, Brittany, all of these problems are just the natural consequences of treating your family members and everyone else like they're beneath you. And you should probably consider yourself lucky that you haven't lost your job over this. If those messages got out, the company would be so ashamed of you, you'd probably lose your job.
I don't even care about my stupid job. I just get a better job at a company that doesn't waste time and money crying over idiot poor people and their dirty factory jobs. Everyone just needs to stop being such loser snowflakes around here. Poor people are poor because they're stupid, and they deserve it. I make a lot of money because I'm good at my job. That's just the truth.
Oh, I had no idea that's how you really felt about your job. I totally thought you liked it. It would be a shame if your manager found out about your true feelings, wouldn't it?
What are you going to do, Dustin? Are you going to screenshot my messages again and send them to my manager? Fine. Go ahead. They can't fire me anyway. I'm too good at my job.
I sincerely doubt it, but I'm not going to do that anyway. I'm not the kind of person to take petty revenge on someone like that. You'll just have to try and keep your mouth shut about your job and hope no one notices your opinions suck.
Whatever, Dustin. Chris and I are going to continue getting richer and more successful, and you're just going to stay useless and poor. You'll see in about 20 years' time when you're still scraping by on your pitiful salary and we're living in a huge LA mansion next door to all the celebrities. But for now, we're in a little bit of trouble because we were expecting all the executives from our company to attend the wedding and bring huge gifts. Now they're not coming. We're probably going to have to borrow money from Mom and Dad to pay some of the bills.
You don't have enough to pay for the wedding without the money you thought people were going to give you as a present? That doesn't make any sense. You are the most irresponsible person I have ever met. If you need money, perhaps you could just cancel your big honeymoon trip and get a refund. That way, you'll be able to pay for your wedding.
We can't just cancel and get a refund. It's too late. We're supposed to be leaving for the honeymoon tomorrow.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Maybe you could just tell the airline that you're sick. Did you get travel insurance?
No, we didn't get insurance. Just forget about a refund. We're going anyway. We'll just have to find some other way of paying for everything. Mom and Dad will probably agree to help out, but if not, we can try asking Chris's mom and dad instead.
I don't understand. I thought you were super rich because you earn tons of money and get a huge bonus.
We do earn a bunch, but we have very expensive taste and busy lives, Dustin. We don't exactly save money. That's for boring people with no life. That gives me an idea. You're boring as watching paint dry. You must have loads of money saved up, right? Well, this is all your fault, so you should help to fix it. I think we still owe about $30,000. Can you try and transfer it before we go on a honeymoon tomorrow? I want to get it all dealt with so I can enjoy my vacation.
You've been going on and on about how I don't earn enough money, and now you're suddenly asking me for $30,000 as though I should just have that amount lying around? If you don't have that amount in savings, what makes you think I do? But I'm not going to give you any money, either as a gift or a loan to help you pay for your ridiculous wedding and honeymoon. It's almost as though you've forgotten you've treated me and insulted me and uninvited me from your wedding, causing me to lose money on canceled flights.
Well, I didn't force you to cancel your flights. You could have come to Scotland anyway if you wanted to. You could have gone sightseeing. It's not my fault you wasted your money.
That's true, but I thought that since I hadn't planned anything to do in Scotland, my time might just be better spent at home working. But you're getting distracted. Just accept that I'm not going to give you $30,000 to pay for your wedding, and neither are Mom and Dad. Are they there?
Who, Mom and Dad?
Yeah, did they talk to you about what you did to me? They said they'd just get through the wedding, and then once you're all home in the USA, they don't want to see you anymore.
What do you mean?
Just that they were really disappointed that you uninvited me from the wedding. They decided they were done with you.
I don't believe this, Dustin. Not only did you ruin my wedding by turning my managers against me, you've also ruined my relationship with Mom and Dad over all this?
I swear I never said anything about it to anyone. I told Mom and Dad that I wasn't coming after all, and they just connected the dots. But all three of us knew how much you were looking forward to your wedding day, and we didn't want to ruin it, so they agreed to go anyway. They're planning on talking to you about your behavior when you get back off your honeymoon, but I don't think it's necessary to wait that long.
But this is completely ridiculous. They can't tell me they don't want to see me anymore. I'm their eldest child.
I thought that this would be good news for you. You were the one who was talking about not having Mom and Dad over at your house all the time, right? Unless you were thinking you'd just keep Mom and Dad on your side because you're eventually hoping to inherit their house and stuff. But even you wouldn't be so avaricious, would you?
It's not avaricious of me to think about what I'll inherit when my parents die. I am the eldest, so it just makes sense that I'll get the house and money.
It doesn't make much sense to think like that when you consider how you've behaved to everyone. Think about it from Mom and Dad's perspective. Do you really think they would want to have someone like you inheriting their house? Would you appreciate the gift?
Well, since I'm the eldest, there really isn't any question about who should inherit the house, is there? It's old, but it's quite big and they had a lot of renovation work done recently, so it should still be in good condition when they finally pass away.
I don't think you should even be thinking about that stuff. I just brought it up because I wanted to make sure you weren't that awful. I guess I was wrong. But since you'll probably find out anyway, Mom and Dad have said that I can have their house when they die. It's all decided, and they've both written their will so that it's going to be indisputable. I'm just saying that now so you don't get any ideas about arguing. But none of this is important. Mom and Dad are both going to be around for many, many years yet. Let's just forget about it.
What? You're going to inherit our childhood home even though you're probably going to be single and sad forever? That house would be totally wasted on you, Dustin. How can you be so selfish when you know that Chris and I are married and will probably have kids? How can you tell me to just forget about this once you've dropped a bombshell like that?
Well, I figured you wouldn't even care since you're earning so much money, you'll be able to buy any house you want. And you were saying your goal is to move to LA and live in a huge mansion next door to a bunch of celebrities, right? Our childhood home is hardly going to satisfy that dream, is it?
Okay, hold on one second. I don't think you understand how serious our situation is. I know I said all of that about earning a load of money and living in LA, but that's in the future, and right now we probably need that house. You know, we don't save money, we just spend what we earn and live life to the fullest in our own style, right? So, we kind of need some kind of financial help right now so we can deal with the loan we took out to pay for the wedding.
What loan? I thought you were asking for $30,000 because you haven't paid for all the wedding stuff yet. If you took out a loan, why do you still need that money? Surely you can just use the loan money and pay it back gradually.
No! We spent the loan money. We went over the budget a bit because we thought we'd get enough money from the guests who were coming.
But you said you wanted to impress your company executives. And now you're saying that you were just spending the money you thought they were going to give you? That is completely insane. If they found out you went over budget by that much, they'd be the opposite of impressed. I can't believe you go around belittling people for being poorer than you while making the worst possible financial choices. Are you for real? You say poor people are stupid and deserve to be poor, but I think someday soon you're gonna find out what happens when rich people act like idiots with money. This is literally the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Didn't you consider what would happen if people didn't give you money as wedding gifts? You can't assume that people are gonna pay to be at your wedding.
Well, they should. It was a really important event, and it must have been an amazing experience for everyone.
Interesting, because it's not even supposed to be over, and you've spent a lot of time texting your brother who you don't even like instead of enjoying the wedding. Besides, Mom texted me earlier and said your wedding was the ugliest, most self-aggrandizing, boringly ceremonious garbage wedding she ever attended. But I don't even know why you're bothering to send me all these messages now, since I told you I am not giving you any money.
Well, if you're not going to give me any money, can you at least try and convince Mom and Dad to change their minds about the house? They haven't been in the best of health recently, so they should probably act quickly if they're going to change their wills. You never know, one of us might be able to get the house pretty soon, so we should settle the issue as fast as we can.
It's already settled, though.
If we had the house, we could sell it and use the money to pay off our stupid loan. I don't think you should be so selfish about this, Dustin. Consider our future and the future of your nieces and nephews.
I don't even have any nieces and nephews to consider. Why would I think about the prospects of people who don't even exist? I hope you're not going to start having children while you're in so much debt. And I don't think you can rely on mom and dad being in poor health or dying soon. They both seem totally fine.
Oh my god. How are we going to get all of this figured out? You have to deal with it. Tell the people at your charity that this was all a misunderstanding and we're best friends and I love poor factory workers. And maybe my bosses will hear that and think I'm awesome again and give me their wedding gifts. I'm sure they had the money set aside anyway. It wouldn't hurt them to just give it to me, even though they didn't attend the wedding. Either that or you need to help us pay off our loan because you're my brother and you haven't got me a gift either.
None of that is going to happen. You know I hate lying, so I'm not telling anyone that you've changed.
What if I apologize to everyone for my behavior? I could write a post on my socials about how much I love equal pay and living wages and stuff.
I really don't think so. I think it's your turn to struggle with your finances for a while. I'm hoping that'll make you understand how difficult it is to live with the stress of not knowing if you can make rent or afford food. Anyways, think about it for a while and enjoy the rest of your wedding day. I have to go now because I'm going for coffee with a friend and I'm supposed to be meeting her soon. I'm turning off my notifications, so I'll speak to you soon, Brittany. Bye. A lot went down after Brittany and Chris's wedding. They flew straight from Scotland to Bali for their honeymoon and spent even more money than they already had. Every single photo Brittany posted to her social media had the hashtag YOLO, so that was super annoying, and eventually I had to snooze her profile so I didn't see it. Then, for some crazy reason, they decided to hire mopeds to explore the island, and Chris crashed, fell, and broke his leg. So, as a result of that, they have hospital bills as well as a loan repayment to figure out. I guess neither of them thought that it would be a good idea to have travel insurance, but I'm not surprised. When they got back, they were calling mom and dad and me constantly for a couple of days, and then mom relented and answered the phone. So, mom ended up looking after Chris while Brittany went to work. But that didn't last long. It turns out there were plenty of people in Brittany's office who hated her because she was so mean to everyone. One of them, I never found out who, discovered the screenshots of her conversations with me in an email attachment. And this person posted them anonymously to social media so that everyone could see who she was and where she worked. Brittany was immediately fired from her job, so there was quite a while where neither she nor Chris were working. Now they're in so much debt and Brittany still isn't working. Chris has finally gone back to work, but his hopes of a promotion are completely smashed. They've had to move out of their nice house and rent a small apartment above a restaurant in town. My mom sometimes goes there to make sure Brittany's looking after herself, and she says it stinks of fryer grease and it's so loud in the evenings. It doesn't sound very nice. I just wish mom would stick to her guns and let Brittany and Chris deal with the mess they've created for themselves. But there's also a small part of me that feels sorry for them. I mean, I know they brought all of this on themselves, but it's hard not to feel a little compassion for someone who's hit rock bottom as hard as they have. And it's not like Brittany was always this mean. When we were kids, she was pretty smart and kind. But when she started hanging around with the popular girls in high school, she changed. She became obsessed with appearances and social status. Then, when she graduated and got a job, she just rapidly became fixed on earning as much as she could. Then she started to equate material wealth with success. It is so weird because our parents were never like that, so I don't know where she got this side of her personality from. Anyway, I've always been proud of the fact that I'm a forgiving and understanding person, so it's hard for me to just wash my hands of her and move on with my life. I keep hoping that one day she'll see where she went wrong and start to remember how much better life is when you just enjoy the simple things. I think my mom feels the same way. And that's why she couldn't go through with her resolution to cut Brittany out and stop seeing her. But I wish she would just let them get on with sorting their own mess out. I think that's the only way they're gonna learn the real value of money. But even though my mom still has Brittany and Chris to worry about, I don't have to see them or talk to them for now. And with Brittany out of my life, I'm feeling much happier and more confident. I've been going out much more and meeting loads of new people. The charity is doing really well, and I feel like we're making a difference to the lives of people we support in less affluent countries. I'm pretty happy with my definition of success. It's just feeling that you've made a positive impact on the world, and I'm glad that I can feel like that every day. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to see more content.